Hello and welcome. This is Janata from Single World News. Indian diplomat and Minister of External Affairs of the Government of India since 30 May 2019, becoming the first ever diplomat to be appointed as External Affairs Minister, Mr. Subrahmanyam Jaishankar, is arguably the best foreign minister India ever had. He joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1977, and during his diplomatic career spanning over 38 years, he served in different capacities in India and abroad, including as a High Commissioner to Singapore and as Ambassador to the Czech Republic, China, and the US. Jaishankar played a key role in negotiating the Indo-US Civilian Nuclear Agreement. He is the first former Foreign Secretary to head the Ministry of External Affairs as the Cabinet Minister. India's Minister of External Affairs, Subrahmanyam Jaishankar, has made his presence throughout the world with new Indian foreign policy and his intelligent responses clarifying our position. Jaishankar was born in a Tamil Brahmin family in Delhi, India, to prominent Indian strategic affairs analyst, commentator and civil servant K. Subrahmanyam and Sulochana Subrahmanyam. Jaishankar did schooling from the Air Force School, Subrata Park, New Delhi, and from the Bangalore Military School, Bangalore, Karnataka, and is a graduate in chemistry from St. Stephen's College at the University of Delhi. He has an MA in Political Science and an MPhil and PhD in International Relations from Jawaharlal Nehru University, where he specialized in nuclear diplomacy. After joining the Indian Foreign Service in 1977, Jaishankar served as third secretary and second secretary in the Indian mission to the Soviet Union in Moscow from 1979 to 1981, where he studied Russian. He was part of the team that resolved the dispute over the supply of US nuclear fuel to the Tarapur power stations in India from 1985 to 1988. He was the first secretary at the Indian Embassy in Washington, D.C. Jaishankar was India's longest-serving ambassador to China with a 4.5-year term. His 2010 briefing to the Indian Cabinet Committee on Security regarding China's refusal to issue a visa to the head of the Indian Army's Northern Command led to a suspension of Indian defense cooperation with China, before the situation was resolved in April 2011. Also, in 2010, Jaishankar negotiated an end to the Chinese policy of issuing stapled visas to Indians from Jammu and Kashmir. In 2012, in response to Chinese passports showing Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin as parts of China, he ordered visas issued to Chinese nationals showing those territories as parts of India. And in May 2013, he negotiated the end of a standoff resulting from the encampment by China's People's Liberation Army on Ladakh's Dipsang Plains, threatening to cancel Premier Li Keqiang's scheduled visit to India if Chinese forces did not withdraw. Jaishankar advocated deeper Indian cooperation with China as long as India's core interests were respected, and argued for better market access for Indian businesses operating in China, on the grounds that more balanced trade was necessary for the bilateral economic relationship to be sustainable. Jaishankar was appointed as India's ambassador to United States in September 2013. He arrived in United States amid the Devyani Khobragade incident and was involved in negotiating the Indian diplomat's departure from United States. On 29 January 2014, Jaishankar addressed the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, where he argued that the grand strategy underwriting, that is Indian-American ties, is fundamentally sound, but that ties suffered from a problem of sentiment. On 10 March 2014, he formally presented his credentials to US President Barack Obama at the Oval Office. Jaishankar was involved in planning of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's maiden visit to the United States in September 2014, welcoming him upon his arrival and hosting a dinner in his honor for the members of the Indian American community. Jaishankar was appointed as the Foreign Secretary of India on 29 January 2015. The announcement of his appointment was made following a 28 January 2015 meeting of the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Jaishankar is widely criticized by Nepalese analysts for being the original planner of 2015 Nepal blockade. On 31 May 2019, he was appointed to the office of Minister of External Affairs. Jaishankar was sworn in as Cabinet Minister on 30 May 2019. On 5 July 2019, he was elected as Member of Parliament from Bharatiya Janata Party to the Rajya Sabha from Gujarat State. He succeeded late Sushma Swaraj, who was the External Affairs Minister in Narendra Modi's government in his first stint. In October 2020, Jaishankar and the Indian Minister of Defense, Rajnath Singh, met with the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and US Secretary of Defense Mark T. Esper to sign the Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement on Geospatial Cooperation, BECA, which facilitates the sharing of sensitive information and intelligence, including access to highly accurate nautical, aeronautical, topographical, and geospatial data between United States and India. The agreement had been under discussion for over a decade, but previous concerns over information security impelled the United Progressive Alliance coalition government to block it. In response to the dialogue, Chinese spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Wang Wenbin criticized the move and advised Pompeo to abandon his Cold War mentality, zero-sum mindset, and stop harping on the China threat. November 2022, during a joint conference, along with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Jaishankar praised Russia as exceptionally steady and time-tested partner of India and advocated a return to dialogue and peace between Russia and Ukraine. Jaishankar has been proving himself as an intellectual personality for his iconic presence and witty replies. In one of the interviews, he says, Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not the Europe's problems. When asked about the Indo-Russian conflict during Russian-Ukraine invasion, which became one of the most searched interviews throughout the nation. Indeed, he is the hero for the youth of the nation, being considered probably as the best diplomat in the world. If you want to know the latest details regarding Subrahmanyam Jaishankar, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel Single World News, and also press the bell icon for the latest notifications. Stay connected with us, guys. Keep supporting.